Hello, friends. Welcome back to Saturday Evenings Posted Mostly with me, your host, Trevor Stewart 1308, and we are here with the ASOC Prod Cat and the Peanut Gallery. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Greetings.
Let's start this evening with our ad read. Pre-rolls brought to you by The Hidden Leaf, downtown Charlottesville, 105 West Main Street, on the downtown mall above the Brick, Suite 200. A great place to go with some great buds to get some great buds. A bud, and the only thing better than their bud is their customer service. Also, they have the lowest prices in town, according to my own personal research. My own personally highly biased research. By which I mean I was incredibly high when I did my biased research. You can find Hidden Leaf and our other sponsors, Kush Gang, purveyor of fine edibles and drinkables, and Firehouse, where there's smoke, there's Firehouse, on Instagram at The Hidden Leaf and at KG Snacks 434 and at Firehouse with a Z. Not to be confused with Firehouse Subs, which does not sponsor us. I have no problem with Firehouse Subs, I just don't eat them. You will, a note of disclaimer, you will hear probably politically oriented opinions on the show today. Those opinions belong to the expressor of the opinion, the channel, and or the parent company, but not necessarily any of our advertisers, including Hidden Leaf, Kush Gang, and Firehouse. Alright, I think that's the ad read. I think I got that out of the way pretty good. I'm still a little rusty. We haven't really gotten back into the swing of things after taking that week off. So.
And then you have two more people added into the mix that are also rusty.
Yeah. But that's okay. We'll get back into the swing of things.
Well, if you're so rusty, put some WD-40 on your marijuana.
Oil can.
And now pitching all of us in a rock tumbler trying to get polished up and working again.
Right.
No, I'm just doing WD-40 because it'll help loosen up your joints.
Oh.
I don't think you want that, do you?
Good one.
If you're running and jumping, you want looser joints, but I don't think if you're smoking them, you want them that loose. Everything would fall out, wouldn't it?
Well, yes. You don't want your joints that loose, but you don't want them too tight either. And I do run into the problem where when I roll, I do sometimes roll a bit too tight. I have a tendency to pinch a little hard.
Okay, so I guess you do need WD-40.
Sometimes. Now, on these pre-rolls that I get, they do not need loosening up or tightening. They're generally just about perfect.
This is a good thing.
Shameless plug, shameless plug, shameless plug.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're in the Goldilocks zone.
Not too hot, not too cold. And there tend to be a lot of bears where I hang out.
I mean, that's reasonable. I have seen some of the people that you hang out with. Not a great many, but some.
Yeah. I mean, there are also a lot of twinks where I hang out, so it's not. I don't just hang out with bears. Of course, being a
So,
twink
mama
or
bear
being a
just a bear in
bear is
drag?
really just a state of mind. What was that?
Is Mama Bear just a bear in drag?
Trans.
Okay.
Because she identifies that way all the time. When queens are in drag or kings are in drag, that's when they identify by whatever gender they're portraying. But trans people perform their gender all the time. I believe I remember somebody saying at one point the difference between a trans woman, a trans woman still in her egg or coming out of her egg, and a drag queen is that the drag queen will clean her makeup off before they go to bed. Whereas a trans woman will often wear their makeup to bed so that they wake up still in makeup. Even if it's, they've got to clean it and change it and all, it's still a way of connecting to the gender that you feel first thing in the morning, so that you start as your chosen gender. And for those of you waiting for a punchline for any of that, there isn't one.
No. Although now I feel the need to go dig up the
Necromancer's assistant?
No, when I was in college, one of my classes, we had to make our own version of Goldilocks. We were doing lino cut print work.
Oh,
So
wow.
everybody was assigned a different scene from Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Okay.
And they had to come up with their own version of, how that scene was going to go, do the print block, and then print enough copies for everybody to have one for their book.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. Our version of Goldilocks and the Three Bears,
So,
it had an adult ending.
it sounds like our host, after someone has taken away his smokes, a little bit disjointed.
Oh, definitely. Each
Disjointed.
you could read the story and how it was going, but you could also see where the individuals were like, I like this idea better.
Yeah, I'm sure. Alright.
So, somewhat serious question.
Alright,
Because
somewhat serious answer.
I am now curious exactly how this fits in. Where exactly on the rainbow spectrum, for lack of better terms, does a gender fluid person fit?
Yes.
Okay, that is an appropriate answer, and an answer I will fully accept.
Usually, but not always. I won't even go with usually. The standard idea is that a gender fluid person will, at a given point in time, be in a spot on the spectrum. But that spot moves over time. However, I myself and others I know are fluid enough that you can never know their position and their momentum at the same time.
So I say this in jest and with love, not intending to be offensive.
Okay.
So to take your previous analogy with the makeup, a gender fluid person's makeup's just constantly running.
Yes. I love that. That is good. Yeah. That is definitely what it feels like anyway from the inside. Maybe that's why I'm attracted to streaming.
I thought it was just because you like to babble.
Only if people will brook it.
You're going one way up a creek. And I'm refusing to paddle.
Paddle faster, I hear banjos.
Wait, why would I want to get away?
I will note there is a local river company that they have that on the t-shirts that they sell.
Yes. Yes, there is. Yes, they do. And yes, I want one. That, thing is...
Having been whitewater rafting multiple times, most of the companies have that on the t-shirt.
Funny
Really?
thing is, about the local company, they're also advertising traditional music festivals.
Yep.
So what they're really saying is paddle towards the banjo music.
Yes, they are.
And that's what I thought was cute. This is out in Floyd, I think.
There's one out there. I met in Scottsville.
Oh, in Scottsville.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one in Floyd I know because when it came time for Floyd Fest, you could just follow those t-shirts to the location.
Mm-hmm. No, the one in Scottsville, they've got those, and they tend to sell a whole bunch of them right before the chili cook-off.
Oh, I bet they
They've got
do.
the chili cook-off, and they've got the beer garden, and then they've got all the music that's happening with the chili cook-off.
Yeah, but that is not the same time as the Blues and Brews Fest, is it? The Chili Cook-Off and the Blues and Brews Fest occur at different times.
They do. So they've got t-shirts for both. So
that's one thing, this area has a lot of live music, a lot of food, and good food too, really good food. But all of that comes with a lot of alcohol. This is a very highly alcoholic area. And I think personally that can be really rough on me because I'm recovering. I'm still recovering, and I will be until I fall off the wagon again. Or fall off the wagon. Period. Which is why I really do like that the Hidden Leaf offers an alternative. Their smoking lounge area offers a good alternative to going out and drinking. I'm I'm hoping that soon they can offer venue for music and for stuff like that, where, and I mean, they have in the past, like they've hosted a drag show, and they might again, and they've hosted comedy shows, and in the past they've hosted a silent disco, they've hosted live music, so hopefully they will again. It just, you know, I would like a place to go and be that didn't center around drinking so much. You know, in Charlottesville has a tendency, Charlottesvillians, civilians, and civilians have a tendency to be judgmental. And if you're not drinking with them, if they're drinking and you're not drinking, there's a little judgment there. The bartenders are really good about it. The bartenders in Charlottesville are really, really good about being cool with somebody not drinking. But I think that's because the bartenders see what the rest of Charlottesville is like when they get drunk. And when they see somebody who's not drunk, it's refreshing.
Yes, it is.
You know, which is one of the things I love about Miller's, is the bartenders are great about me going in and hanging out and not drinking alcohol. I can't do that at Miller's because of my history with the place. And now that the state is no longer mandating that I don't drink, the choosing not to drink at my drinking hole is very difficult. It is, you know, that so I don't Miller's just because I can't. But that's okay, because the Hidden Leaf is right on the other side of the wall. So it's not like I'm not in the same building even. You know, I'm just
on the other side of the wall.
On the other side of the wall. So, well, now that we've gone through those topics.
So, you're saying when you're at the Hidden Leaf, Miller's might as well be on the dark side of the moon.
Yes.
No, it's another brick in the wall.
But it's on the other side of the wall.
It is. Miller's is more than just another brick in the mall. The Jefferson, the Paramount, even Marco and Luca's dumplings are all just another brick in the mall. But Miller's, Hidden Leaf, and Chaps are not. Chaps may be now that it's under new ownership.
I bet they frown on it if you show up wearing nothing but chaps.
Yep. They don't like that. That's not the kind of milk they're looking for. It's different dairy.
They're not looking for those kind of chaps?
No.
No. Nor do they offer Blistex. So, something that I've always thought was interesting is that if you do just wear chaps, you get chapped.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if there's a through line in the naming there, but it feels like there could be.
I mean,
I think the whole point is to prevent chapping from
Riding.
getting chapped from the saddle because your legs move around a lot.
Okay.
And that extra layer tends to help.
So does, not sitting on the actual hard saddle itself, but putting, a thin piece of something like sheepskin between you and it.
Or if you go with the English riding outfit, wearing tighter pants also helps prevent the chapping.
Hey, now. Thinking about those pants. And just, ow. They do not look like they have near enough room for me.
Of course, you also remember that the English riding boots go almost all the way up to the knee.
Yeah.
Did you get to wear such fancy things when you were riding horses?
Yes.
I need to go talk to your mother about pictures.
No.
Yeah. I want pictures.
There were none.
I'm going to ask anyway. I will ask your sister as well.
Those boots were uncomfortable because they always hit me in the back of the knee.
I get that. I've worn tall boots that did that before. They weren't for riding, though.
I can't wear boots like that.
See, the boots that I wore like that didn't have heels.
But I thought English riding boots had heels to keep your foot in the stirrup.
Well,
yeah,
I don't consider
heels
them
like that.
Heels with it being about half an inch.
You had kitten heels.
Also, they weren't, an eighth of an inch to a quarter of an inch wide. They were full heel size width, I'm sure. Whereas the ones I was wearing,
because
stiletto. They were stiletto heel, knee high, working girl boots.
While there are heels on English boots, they're wide and short. Because if you were to get off your horse in a field whilst wearing stilettos, you would lose the boot.
No, you just become a fence
Only if
post.
you don't know how to wear heels. When you're wearing stilettos, even when you're walking on hard ground, your heel should barely touch the ground. You walk on the balls of your feet. I walk in my heels incorrectly, by the way. I do. I land back on my heels a lot more than I should.
Yes,
which
but the
is
heel is
part
still
of
there
why
for a stabilization point, and if you put any pressure on something that small on soft ground,
You're
going
right in.
So
I
it's not even
always
a
think
good
about it
stabilization point.
like the pylons on a glitter boy. The shoe pylons on a glitter boy for when he fires his rail gun.
And now you've lost most of the people who are viewing because they're just like, what are they talking about now?
No, because he mentioned glitter. They'll stick around for glitter.
Glitter. So, in this game called Rifts that we played together, there is there's a class of character who drives a giant glittery reflective mech called the Glitter Boy. And they have a massive gun mounted on their shoulder. And the gun's so massive that to fire it, they have these stabilizer pylons that come down out of the heels of their boots and into the ground so that the gun doesn't knock them over backwards. How was that?
Fairly accurate.
And not too, like, in the weeds. Not too technical. Managed to explain to the audience without losing them more, hopefully.
So, what do you think about the Discord comment?
Discord comment? A Rift's themed strip club. Glitter Boy. Ooh! Ooh! I would go there. I'd go to watch the Glitter Boys dance. Yeah, I like this idea. Your Imperial credits have no value here.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be hilarious.
Go on.
I just had the vague thought of, you know how the general map is divided up in rifts.
Yeah.
You came in at the door, you're paying at the door to come in, and you're handed you're asked which faction you're with,
Or which
and you're
faction you
handed
want to be with.
currency for them, so that you get to have fun, negotiating at the bar.
Sure, that too. But yeah, you can go to whichever. The whole place would be divided up into, and you could go see the Republic. The Empire's, dead boys basically stripping.
And if it was done that way, you could have various little stages with a very wide variety of people.
Yes. All right, we should probably move on because this is a little deep in the ideological weeds.
I just want to see someone explain why they have a robotic dinosaur in a strip club.
Even Dinobots need love.
Oh, I know. But, it's Rifts. There are dinosaurs.
Yeah.
It's a strip club. Instead of riding the bull, you're riding the lizard.
Oh, that would be perfect.
Oh.
Ride the Triceratops.
Oh, you guys are... Oh, that's just...
What?
So many things
Yeah,
could go...
Fail, you got Tyrannosaurus wrecked.
Yes! That you'd have to have a rubber stamp stuck to you for that. You fall off and they just stamp a T-Rex bite on you. You've lost.
I'm
Putting
terrified.
all of us in that rock cover sounding better and better now.
Yep. I'm terrified of where this could go. So let's move on. So we are here on the East Coast the Middle East coast and above, facing a nasty storm coming up, apparently. And we will be also apparently trapped under an Arctic dome for a while. I've heard a prediction that we will not see above freezing temperatures here until the first week of next month.
Yep. At least this is not a Stephen King novel, so we're good.
Psh, you say
Wrong dome.
that. Oh, we'll go over that in a minute. But yeah, this winter storm coming up is gonna be. They're calling for a foot or two of snow.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of us who live north of here, by by states, are going a foot or two, that's nothing. But this is apparently going to hit from Texas to Maine. It's supposed to sweep across the country and up the East Coast, hitting everywhere proportionally, I suppose. You know, we're looking at a foot or two. Further north, they're going to be looking at a few feet. Now, I haven't been watching. I haven't been watching weather patterns in general recently. Like, I haven't been watching weather programming that would show me where the Gulf Stream, where the air currents are and where the pressure systems are. So, wow. Okay.
Panic mode.
Huh? Panic, right.
Panic mode.
Your, the place you work for has sold more than, what was that? 2,400 gallons of propane in the past 4 days. It's a lot of propane. Wow. Okay. And that's probably, well, I don't know. You know, this storm could be really bad. I don't know if it's going to be picking up moisture from the Gulf on its way past. If it does not, if it's not picking up that kind of stuff, that kind of extra energy and moisture, I question whether it's gonna have the power to really dump a lot on us specifically. I know, as you go north of here, you get more moisture, more snow, that kind of thing. It's just in our area, especially in our area in Central Virginia, east of the Blue Ridge Mountains, just east of the Blue Ridge Mountains, we tend to be we tend to be sheltered from weather patterns coming in from the west. Because the Appalachian Mountains, then the Shenandoah Valley, then the Blue Ridge Mountains, that tends to break up any weather pattern that tries to hit us. Also, NOAA has been defunded, so there's
Yeah.
a lot of information missing here.
Yeah.
I think that the governors have done the right things by declaring states of emergency beforehand and getting ready and bracing for a nasty storm. But I don't think we can predict I don't think we can really predict if the storm's going to be as nasty as we think it is. And I think that prediction holds even less true here where we are. Now, that being said, I know the temperatures are going to drop a nasty amount, and the temperature may drop enough that it doesn't matter if there isn't much moisture in the air. It's all going to freeze out of the air and fall. And we're just going to end up with really dry air. Dry, cold air. That then gets held in place over us for a week.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think? What's your take? What's your prediction here?
Mm-hmm.
I'll believe it when I see it.
You also have a different measure of snow than we do, don't you?
Partially.
I mean, you have been here for a long, long time. But you come from places where snow means snow. There's part of me that just wants you to be the man from Snowy River. Although I need to watch that again. I don't remember that movie very well. What?
Nothing.
So yeah, I imagine you have been, for the most part, disappointed with the amount of snow that we get here.
Especially lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm grabbing my tea. I will be right back.
We will be left here.
I mean, you can leave if you want. I won't stop you.
Yes, but if we leave, we wouldn't be left. If you're going to be right, we should be left. What kind of a snowstorm would you like to see? How much snow would you like to get?
Well, while I would not like to be trapped in, I would love to have 3+ feet. Now, my ideal, not something that's likely to happen, but my ideal is let it snow for a month. Kind of like sometimes how it does in April or May with this constant drizzle for almost the entire month. Just let that happen with snow. They'd be able to keep the roads clear, it'd build up on the side, everything would look pretty, and it would soak down the groundwater supply when it melted.
I'd love that. That would make me so happy. Just a good solid, light flurry for a month.
During that month, most everybody would be complaining about how dreary it was and not being able to see the sun. And I'd still have to wear my darn sunglasses at night because everything's just covered in this blinding white that reflects everything.
Right. Right. Oh, but I love that dreary, that snowy, dreary. I love that.
Now, there is one type of winter weather that I have never experienced and would love to experience for myself.
What's that?
Snow thunder.
A thunderstorm, snowstorm?
Yes.
Oh, that would be amazing.
The thing is, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen in a place where there's a lot of snow already.
Mm.
And if you have experienced more than 2 feet of relatively light snow, you realize the sound dampening and echo confusing way that affects the atmosphere. There's no way you can tell where sound's coming from.
Yeah.
So you just have this low rumble emanating somewhere from the sky, you think?
I love that. That would be so much fun.
I have, at best, seen some videos with good representation.
Mm. Ooh, pardon me.
No dying, I don't want to fill out the paperwork.
Oh, don't worry. This ain't gonna be what kills me. Bullets! My one weakness! How did you guess? Ah! So yeah, would you say propane is what you guys have sold most of in advance of this storm?
Only for the sheer fact that we did not get replenished on other objects.
What do you think you would have sold most of?
Name it.
Huh? I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said, name it.
Name it. Shovels and ice melt, I bet.
I mean, just like you go into the grocery store right now, and there's no bread. There are barely any crackers for some strange reason. There's no peanut butter, no milk.
Well,
They
of
took all
course
the
there are
crackers
no
to the-
crackers. All the white people got their bread and milk and eggs and left.
Oh,
I don't know. I was in there.
yeah, you were.
I definitely qualify.
Yeah, you do.
I better not, because I was going to say something mean.
Go for it.
You're not a cracker, you're milquetoast.
No, he's crunchy sometimes.
Yeah, you dry it out, you make crackers.
Yep. These are a set of pictures that my sister just sent to me with the caption of 7-Eleven said today's the day to make a profit.
Ha! That's just rude. Of course, the pallet's also outside, so
Ice melt.
You're
How much
getting
is
legs.
that?
Say that again.
I smell
$14.99.
Yeah.
And my response is that pallet that pallet is outside. So those are getting legs.
walking away. Yeah. Oh my god. That's some usury level stuff right there.
So those are. I do not know what store this is at specifically. Just that it was apparently where my sister stopped to get gas on her way to work this morning.
Oh, wow. That's uncomfortable. That is price gouging.
It is, unless of course it's a case that they bought them for whatever the regular price is somewhere, so that's the only way for them to make their profit.
I mean, yeah, I guess if that's the only, like, if they got it at market value instead of wholesale and have to mark up market value.
Yeah.
I guess.
Because those look like bags like you'd get at Home Depot.
I mean, they do, but they also look like bags I've seen at 7-Eleven.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a pallet of bags.
Yeah.
Are you saying that price is not very palatable?
Oh no.
Yes, that is exactly
unpalatable.
It is exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying that salt doesn't pass the sniff test.
You're getting all salty about it.
I am.
Now that this discussion has crystallized in that point, moving on.
What a capitalistic idea.
I am tired. That does not mean I will not get the poo noodle.
It's within arm's reach for a good reason. Go for it.
So...
Yeah, my arms and hands are tired. It takes effort to pick things up today.
I was going to move on, but I think I'll just let the two of you go. This is fun. All right. Let's move on to this article that you linked.
Yeah.
You don't need to go hunting for them. We got plenty of sniping right here.
Yeah.
Tweet, 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 tweet.
All right. So, federal judge bars Virginia from keeping thousands of felons from voting. And this was, I heard a bit about this over the week on NPR. I did not. I knew that I knew that Virginia did the stripping of the right to vote. I know that there, let me read the first paragraph of this article so everybody's on the same page. A federal judge in Richmond ruled this week that Virginia violated a post-Civil War law by automatically stripping the right to vote from everyone convicted of a felony, a decision that could restore voting rights to thousands of Virginians. Senior U.S. District Judge John A. Gibney Jr. ruled that a felon disenfranchisement provision in the state's constitution violates the Federal Virginia Readmission Act of 1870, the law that allowed the Commonwealth to to again be represented in Congress after the Civil War. The law prohibited Virginia from disenfranchising citizens except as a punishment for crimes that were then felonies under common law. Those crimes did not include drug offenses or other convictions that are considered felonies today. So yeah, this I believe really what it was violent crimes, violent felonies were what were supposed to get your right to vote stripped. But I believe, I'm guessing in that post-Reconstruction Jim Crow era is when they in the post-Reconstruction Jim Crow era is when they changed the law in order to disenfranchise black people as much as possible. It was around that time that vagrancy laws and a lot of other smaller offenses became felonies. And civil things that had before been civil laws started becoming criminal law.
I mean, that's pretty clearly lined out if you read the very next paragraph.
Oh, let me read the very next paragraph. For well over a century, the Commonwealth of Virginia has disobeyed a federal law designed to protect the right of former enslaved people to vote. Gibney, who was appointed by President Barack Obama, wrote in a 44-page opinion. When the United States started to readmit the rebellious slave states after the Civil War, Congress feared that the former Confederate powers would invent new crimes with which they could disenfranchise black Americans. And guess what? They did. The ruling caps a legal battle that began in 2023 when the American Civil Liberties Union of Virginia, the voting rights group Protect Democracy, and the law firm Wilmer Hale sued then Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin, Republican, and other state officials on behalf of disenfranchised felons, asserting that the state constitution violates the terms of Virginia's readmission into the Union after the Civil War.
And if you go down further, it tells you what the original things were.
All right. Our clients and thousands of Virginians like them, past and present, served what amounted to a second sentence by permanently losing their voting rights even after they had served their sentences. Jarrett Davidson, counsel at Protect Democracy, said in a statement Thursday, "Today's decision means they can finally participate in the political process and that going forward, untold members of Virginians will not be stripped of their fundamental rights in the future." That's all, folks. Let's try that again. That's easy for you to say. A spokesperson for Virginia Attorney General Jay Jones, a Democrat who beat Republican incumbent Jason Miyares in November's election, said his office is reviewing the ruling. Spokeswoman Ray Pickett said the official expects to make to make a public announcement regarding the ruling next week, but she declined to comment further. Gibney's ruling permanently blocks state election officials from disenfranchising anyone unless they have been convicted of one of 11 crimes considered common law felonies when the Virginia Readmission Act reestablished the state's representation in Congress in 1870. Arson, burglary, escape from prison, larceny, manslaughter, mayhem, murder, rape, robbery, sodomy, and suicide.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. They need to strike sodomy from that.
Yeah.
Because I think partially because sodomy... I don't know if there are sodomy laws in Virginia. See, I thought Virginia dropped its sodomy laws when
2014 is when they were removed.
Okay. So sodomy needs to be removed from this list. Because, and the official list, not just the list in the article, the sodomy laws were being used to police gay people.
Mm-hmm.
And according to the law, sodomy means anything that is not missionary, heterosexual sex.
Yeah.
Now, for a long time, sodomy was, for a long time, for a while, I don't know how long, but it was something that was there to be added to other convictions to make the sentence worse. You know, or at least that's what the cops' official line was.
It was supposed to be an aggravator or an enhancement on whatever was happening.
Right. As the cop said to me and my boyfriend at the time, going, yeah, we're not using it to police gays. You guys. You gays. I mean, gay people. We're using it to police rapists. Proud of myself for not saying, then why is it such a problem in this town?
Going,
5 people in a room without shoes.
That is the legal definition of an orgy, which used to be illegal in the state of Virginia.
5 people in a room without shoes.
Yep.
Well, okay. Do you know how ridiculous that is? I mean, I have such a hard time getting my room into its shoes.
You have just taken something that was already ridiculous and made it even more so. Congratulations.
Well,
or do they mean
just
foundation? Because then you can't have 5 people in a trailer.
See, you just need to smooth talk a little more when you're talking about getting it into its shoes. That way it can be shoehorny. Yeah, I know that one was bad.
It
Go back to the
felt a
article.
little levered in, as if you had to use some sort of instrument to get a foot into a shoe that isn't quite big enough for it. Some sort
No, that's
of
how I was trying to
long
get the
lever
I was trying
horn
to get the
thing
foot
for
into my mouth.
shoes. Oh,
Honestly, you're going about it all wrong. You just need to pretend you're a salesman and get your foot in the door, and then the room will have its shoes on. Back to the article.
right. So, this is a good thing. You know, it affects it will affect a lot of disaffected people who really, you know, hopefully it will affect disaffected black people. It will give a lot of them their right back to vote. I wish this were so, but a lot of these drug crimes had things added to them to make them violent felonies. I probably would fit under mayhem. And I think a lot of that has to do with weapons charges going with drug charges. So I do feel like, you know, while this is supposed to help rectify something, because of the systemic nature of the oppression, it won't be able to undo the things that were really, the damages that were really done. Because those drug offenses, or those small little broken windows, led to larger charges that would then still fall under the old law. It's the insidious nature of broken window policing. Oh, hey, Wasabi. Great to see you. Much love. Great to see you. I'm
thinking that part of the reason the newly elected attorney general, or whatever he is taking time before making an announcement, is that was pointed out to him, and he's trying to figure out how to work with that, or work around that, or whatever.
Yeah. It would be fine if he just went, look, this is a start. I know that these other things are true too. So, Wasabi, here's a question for you, and it's probably a question that I don't know. What are voting rights like for you in the UK? And is there some form of disenfranchisement? Is there a way that voting rights can be stripped from a person? Heavy question, I know. Yeah, I think... Yes, there can be in the U.S. Hey, Maddie! Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Good to see you. Yes, disenfranchisement can happen here in the U.S. and can be undone.
Mm-hmm.
What are the disenfranchisement laws like where you are, Maddie? Can they be... voter roll purges can do that? Okay. People being found guilty can be stripped. I don't know in my state. Hey, hey, Chris. Good to see you. I don't know. You know, again, according to this. Okay, the act establishes it. So this list is from Congress, not from Virginia.
No, that's a federal list.
This is a federal list. So these are the only things that you're supposed to be able to be disenfranchised for across the entire country. And we will go over those again. You know, we could reword sodomy to buggery, and it would mean the same thing.
My question is, shouldn't...
For the federal side, not for the state side. Well, that's what this ruling in Virginia is setting up. Virginia is now deciding that it is no longer, that it's holding itself to the federal list.
Well, it's not just that. They made note that in order to be readmitted to Congress, Virginia had to agree to this. This is something that they signed up for.
Oh, this may be something on the southern states. Mm-hmm. Not across the country, but just the southern states had to sign up for this.
So, my thing is, the last one really should be changed as well.
Well, okay, yes,
they should
add attempted to that.
Yes.
Because if you succeed, you're purging yourself from the voter rolls, so to speak.
Unless you're in Mississippi, I guess, because, you know, all of the parishes in Mississippi.
Oh.
My aunt and uncle lived there for years. I heard lots of wonderful stories.
I'm sure. Or add in a grandfather clause.
This is the grandfather clause.
Yeah. Well, it depends on when you managed to purge yourself from the voter rolls, as they say, as to whether or not you need a grandfather clause or not. Did you have kids first? Oof. Yeah. Yeah, very much deserved an oof. So I do want to. I do. Oof.
Read the list again.
No, well, yeah,
You don't have to.
I do. But I also want to get to this point, get
Mhm.
through this. But I want to set it up, I think. So the ruling detailed Virginia's fraught history of reducing its black population's ability to vote. After the act, Virginia repeatedly amended its constitution to expand who could be stripped of voting rights. Amendments in 1876 diluted the vote of former enslaved people by adding a poll tax and disenfranchising those convicted of petite or petty larceny, Gibney wrote.
Yeah.
In 1902, constitutional let me start that sentence again. The 1902 Constitutional Convention made these intentions explicit. One leading supporter, then Virginia state senator and soon to be U.S. lawmaker Carter Glass, said the new Constitution aimed to eliminate every Negro voter who can be gotten rid of. The plan of popular suffrage will eliminate the... Oh, I am not saying that.
No.
Oh, no, that word is no. Will eliminate the blank as a political factor in this state in less than 5 years, so that in no single county of the Commonwealth will there be the least concern felt for the complete supremacy of white race in affairs of government, Glass said to applause during the convention, according to a report on the proceedings. Wow, Virginia was racist.
And I really hope that man turned into a high-speed lathe when Obama was elected.
Mm-hmm. You know what probably bugged him even more? I'm willing to bet that Glass was a Democrat. I'm willing to bet he was a Dixiecrat. And to see what's become of his party, oh, I bet that.
Well, no, because that's the thing is, remember at that point in time, what we consider Democrats now were actually Republicans.
No. The parties have stayed the same since then. It's what they represent has switched slowly over time. The Democrats back then were still large government, federal rights, lowering states' rights. They were not about abolishing slavery. And in fact, the states' rights that the Republicans were arguing for was for each state's right to abolish slavery, which was actually just as bad as not abolishing slavery, because there were going to be states that chose to not abolish slavery. Democrats were always liberal with the economy. They did before the formation of the Republican Party. Yeah, they were, I mean, they've always been fiscal and, I won't say political liberal, but they've been large government and fiscally liberal always. It was after the formation of the Republican Party. It was actually after the Jim Crow South. It wasn't until it wasn't until I think around the time of Kennedy, a little before the Kennedy dynasty started, or right around the time of the Kennedy dynasty, that Democrats became socially progressive as well.
I didn't know Kennedy was an orthodontist.
Dynasty, not dynastry.
Dynasty.
Like the TV show.
Ew, dynasty. Whole family dies in gross ways. It's a dynasty. So it's, this. So there were some of that starting in the Democrat Party, starting in the 30s. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
But at the end of the Civil War,
That explains him.
FDR was able to build a Democratic coalition with black voters. Okay, there it is. So yeah, but back in the late 1800s, it was still, now I'm not saying Republicans were the good guys at the time. They did end up being the abolish slavery party, but they kind of did that because the abolish slavery movement was just, well, actually, I don't know. This polar shift of the parties took decades. Yes, it really did. One of the biggest nails was the Civil Rights Act. Yeah. Yes.
They don't want nothing that's civil.
Right.
Civil right, no civil discourse.
We had enough of that with the Civil War. The rise of the moral majority and desegregation. Yeah. Yes. And that moral majority. As a child, the moral majority terrified me. They were right up there in my nightmares, right next to Darth Vader and E.T. And the segregationist academies. One thing people didn't realize is that the Roberts Court has been trying to torpedo the Warren Court. Yeah. It really has. I don't know that it's been amazingly successful, but it seems to have been at least somewhat successful. It's yeah. So, I do know that I have friends who will get their voting rights back due to this. I don't know if I know I have friends who will get their rights back. I don't know what that's going to look like. And when I think about it, I think most of those friends are white. I don't think I have any black friends who have gotten a felony drug conviction who have not also gotten other things added to their conviction that would fall under these rules.
I'm kind of hoping that as they go through and work on the paperwork for this, that it becomes kind of a blanket. This was the main charge, so therefore anything else that was included once that main charge is taken away do not follow. Yeah.
That would mean that there would be. That would mean that there would be a lot of firearms charges that would get dropped.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be dropped, but it would be
that would have to be expunged.
No, because it doesn't have to be expunged because it is now attached specifically to something that doesn't exist in their database. So,
well, yeah, it would have to be expunged legally. It would have to be because the person no longer had the felony that...
No, they still have the felony. It just doesn't count against the voting right.
Okay.
You know, in their voter roll, what they're going to have to do is say if the primary charge is this, anything that attached because of that is now non.
I would think that Virginia would be eager to let gun owners have their right to vote back. I would think that there would be an eagerness there. Carter Glass was born in Lynchburg, Virginia in 1858, only 6 years after the city was actually incorporated. Lynchburg,
the town
Virginia.
Had been founded about not quite 100 years earlier, but it was actually incorporated and became a city only a few years before he was born.
Okay. Lynchburg, Virginia is problematic.
Special. Yeah.
It is problematic. Let us start with the name. That's where we're starting. It is not actually named after the act. It's named after the guy who invented the act.
Yep.
Which is, I mean, that just says so much. And I feel like that is why Jerry Falwell decided it was his kind of place and started Liberty University there.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to say this one. Apologies in advance.
Huh?
Apologies in advance. It was just his sort of place to hang out.
Oh! Yeah. Yeah. So, this town is now a college city.
2 times over.
Yeah, exactly. It is a terrifying place. I avoid it if at all possible. I have been there for work. Back when my job was to stare at walls. Liberty University was putting in some new dorms And my job was to go into a job site that was behind schedule and over budget and scare them into catching up. Because my job title was architectural punch lister, where the liberty is not mutual. Exactly. My job title was architectural punch lister, which meant that I went around on a finished job site and looked for mistakes. But because the company that I kept having, the contracting company that was working on these jobs that I kept having to go in behind or during, was never on schedule. I was always in before they were done. And I had no grace for them being behind schedule. That was part of why I think I was brought in, is because I hadn't worked the other side of that. You know, and I do have general appreciation for how hard it is to meet an insane schedule, you know, but also I know that this company, this contracting company, was underbidding their jobs and, you know, underbidding their budget and the time allotment and overestimating their ability. And so I went in knowing that this general contractor was, if I didn't, or if somebody didn't basically shake them up a little bit, they weren't gonna do it. They were just gonna keep draining money off the client and not get there in time, I mean, they were already not getting the dorms open in time for move-in date for the schools. This happened at more than one school, by the way. It's just, one of them just happened to be Liberty. Now, at the other schools, I was allowed to wear short sleeves to work. Wrong arm, Trev. This is technically a bit of religious iconography.
Yep.
This, my logo, is technically religious iconography. And you're not allowed to wear non-Christian religious iconography on school grounds at Liberty. So I had to wear long sleeves. Now, the fact that I am non-Christian religious iconography just by existing, I'm an icon, baby. How would they know? I just need to get a job with the Jesuits. They're cool. The only way they would have known is if I had rolled up my sleeves. You know, and I didn't. Closer to Nikon than icon.
I have a correction for us.
How about a bicon? You have a correction for us on
Lynchburg and the name.
Okay.
The man that founded Lynchburg was the brother of the one that the act was named for. So it was not technically specifically named for him.
Okay.
But his brother.
I honestly thought you meant the dice at first, because when I looked, you were waving right in their general direction. I know. That's why I had to move my hanging chads out the way.
Yep.
His last name was Lynch, right? Yeah, it really was.
It was. But
I mean, I bet he was there when they found it out, when they figured it out. How
I'm
convenient.
sure. I'm sure.
I'm just
But,
saying.
To be pedantic,
That's
it was
fair.
specifically because of his brother, not him. But
I do appreciate a good dose of pedantism. Pedants.
It will forever and indelibly be linked to actually for me.
Oh yes,
Actually.
definitely. It is a game of pedantry.
Actually. Like how one of the founding members of the KKK was, and I'm not kidding, Jim Crow. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably why it's called the Jim Crow South. He's probably the one who... It even filtered out members of? Wow. I hit allow the whole thing, so... Yeah, no thanks. I was going to say, who would have thought that a discussion of voter reenfranchisement would have turned into talk about the Civil War, but no, it makes perfect sense. There's a direct line. Ah, they're very good. Very good. Jim Crow. They're talking about it's a K-shaped economy. I'd like to point out that it's a white supremacist K-shaped economy. It's a triple K-shaped economy. Yes, a KKK-shaped economy. Erica Kirk changed... Did she really do that? Did she really put 3 Ks in her name? Oh, I want that to be true. Just like, show us who you are, lady. Show us who you are. KKK-shaped economy, yeah.
I mean, all right, her name was actually spelled with a K to start with, so yeah, when she got married, she did change her name.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's just that. Okay, that was someone's joke.
I know,
But as we are pedantic around here, yes, she did. I'd read a few places that she changed it from Erica.
Technically correct. The best kind of correct.
well,
I also do believe she would have changed it from Erica with a C to Erica with a K. That would track, though. Well, all right.
ooh, what kind of name is that one?
What? What one?
I don't know.
You're gonna have to be more specific.
Frantzve.
Francev.
Yes.
FRANTZ is France.
Technical switch over.
Yeah, I need to switch. We need to switch.
Switch? What?
Keep going.
You need to get going. Actually, I think we are getting on towards the end of the episode as well. So, yeah. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we didn't talk about that's been going on in the news that I have definite opinions about, but I think before we really talk about it, we need to wait to see how some of it plays out. You know, obviously, I'm talking about things like the Greenland framework. Okay, idea for a deal that Denmark is saying no. No. Denmark will not, budge on their sovereignty over Greenland. That's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, Trump is obviously very in the wrong. U.S. should have nothing to do with any sovereignty in Greenland. Neither should Denmark. There's a part of me that as I watch Trump try to bully Denmark and Denmark try to stand up to Trump over Greenland, I feel like Greenland is the little kid on the playground watching the new bully try to beat up the old bully to get the rights to take the lunch money. It's not,
I will note this.
It doesn't end well for Greenland either way. They don't end with sovereignty. If Trump backs down, Denmark walks away with a win and the world forgets. The world forgets that Denmark owns Greenland, and that's messed up. Granted,
Yes.
That's the better of the two options. Because if Trump wins and gets Greenland, well, then all of a sudden, we've got Greenland. And we won't be a beneficent colonizer like Denmark has been. There's no such thing as a good colonizer, but at least Denmark isn't just stripping the place for everything they have and building McDonald's and Starbucks every 2 blocks to take everybody's money as well.
Yes, indeed.
So I do feel like from Greenland's perspective, there isn't a real win here for them. At least the world is looking their way for a few minutes. But really, what this is a distraction to keep Americans, to keep the world off guard, and to keep Americans from paying attention to Minnesota. To keep us from paying attention to the armed Gestapo troops on our own streets.
And here, I thought it was just to be filed under distraction.
Mm-hmm. No.
So it is. I mean, it's a distraction of a distraction of a distraction.
Yes.
We're distracting from what happened in Venezuela.
Yeah.
What we're still doing in Venezuela. We're still taking oil. We're still commandeering their ships. We're still, we're still screwing with them.
They're doing
But
that.
that was a distraction from Minnesota,
Yeah.
which is a distraction from Epstein.
Which, if someone keeps pushing for Greenland, I think that among other things, the islands that we got in trade originally should be made sovereign or whatever.
Agreed.
Which would include, what is it? Little whatever island, which was the last one that we acquired,
Guam?
which is better known as Epstein Island.
Nah. There you go. This whole thing is more manufactured crisis to keep all of us off balance. This is another part of the fire hosing that the administration is doing so that we don't notice the things sneaking past, like Project 2025.
Yes. And
this is also more than that, in that it is also a statement of future international affairs policy. This has been a way for Trump to say, we will conduct international policy from a position of the strong do what they can and the weak do what is it? The weak do without.
Yo.
No, that's not quite it.
Things that are slipping through, like the congressional bill that just recently passed, that lets the government trigger a kill switch in your car so you can't go anywhere.
Oh, is that the DHS funding bill that's also funding ICE?
They're working on it. I think it's part of it.
Okay.
But yeah, that's something that they are either have snuck through or are trying to sneak through to allow. Yeah. Oh,
LoJack
you
kill
are a disruptor of our flow of things. We're going to make sure your car can't move now.
A dissident. You are a dissident, and we want to
Yep.
catch you. So we are going to make you stop right there. So yeah.
So
that's-
first thing this morning, I had like 5 different things in my feed advocating that you go get a car from before 2014 to prevent this.
Yeah. I mean,
Or at least if you're planning on being a dissident, drive an older model vehicle.
right? I'm not sure, but I think mine's 2015. Oh well. Oh wow.
Yeah.
So a couple of other things that I found interesting in that, Minnesota ICE stuff is that ICE has been harassing cops, off-duty cops, because they fit the description. How's
They
it feel
have-
now, officer?
Not only that, they have kidnapped their own off-duty ICE people.
Ah, nice.
They have kidnapped their own off-duty ICE people. You've got a lot of police officers and such up north of here.
Mhm.
Like up in Connecticut, New York, Maine area that are not going to help them in any way, shape, or form because they have gone after their off-duty officers.
Right.
And then you've got religious leaders, like the three highest Catholic leaders, and at least one other.
The clergy
I wanna say
that
it-
was arrested in Minnesota for
No.
protesting.
This is separate.
Oh, all right.
This is separate. You've got the three highest cardinals in the U.S. that released
Oh,
a
okay.
joint statement. Calling out the what was it? It was beautiful wording. Which I expect from them. Calling out the I want to say imperial adventuring that the U.S. is trying to do and the tyranny that they are using inside their own borders, while it was either, I want to say it was Episcopalian, one of the Episcopal leaders, sent to his underlings and told them, update your wills. Update your wills and be ready to stand in front of and protect our people.
It's grim, but honest.
Yes.
Update your will. But
Update your will, be ready to stand in front of and protect our people.
But that is
And-
what they're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
That is according to their own set of rules. They're doing their job.
They are.
And that's along with the clergy who got arrested in Minnesota, and all the clergy has been getting pepperballed and assaulted by ICE in general.
Mm-hmm.
This is, if you truly have a calling to serve, a calling from God, calling from your God, no matter what God it is, if you have a calling from your God to serve, then this is what you signed up for.
Yes.
Um,
And that's effectively what the letter was saying is, okay, the chips are about to be down, get ready.
right. Now is time to be a good, faithful Christian warrior for the real Christ.
Yeah. So you've got that. What was the other thing? While that has been going on, it has been ruled in Minnesota specifically that ICE are not police. ICE are not allowed to do all of these things, and that the police should start arresting them if they see them doing this, because it is illegal for them to do these things.
Oh, good. I'm glad Minnesota stepped up to that.
They're
ICE
saying
on the-
specifically they're not allowed to pull people out of cars. They're not allowed to use pepper spray or other things on people that are standing there and are non-violently doing anything. And they basically they outlined pretty much everything that we have seen going on and being wrong.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, all of that is illegal. Please arrest them.
Yeah. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, an internal memo was recently leaked. Internal memo, ICE internal memo was recently leaked, where they were what was it? It was basically saying it was outlining these codes of behavior. It was now I can't remember what it was saying. Dang it. But it was basically say,
that you can go in without having a real warrant.
Right. You can
just do it.
You can get a what is it? A procedural warrant or something? With a procedural warrant, not a judge warrant.
An administrative warrant, which is just they're people saying this is who you're looking for versus a judicial warrant, which lets you actually enter a house.
Right. So now ICE is starting to act. ICE is trying to justify. Not even trying to justify. ICE. This is the. This was the guidelines that were given to ICE agents that has led them to be smashing down doors and behaving like they are. And this memo was never supposed to be printed out. These guidelines were supposed to be handed down by voice, by orally.
Yep. There was never supposed to be a written copy in any way, shape, or form that could be leaked.
Right. However, this memo had to start somewhere. Somebody had to think up this memo, send it to somebody else. And someone got their hands on it and went, I'm uncomfortable with this.
Yep. Which they should be. Because
they very much should be. And there are more and more examples of people, of these civil servants being uncomfortable with what the orders are being, with who they're serving and what they're supposed to be doing.
Well, that and you're finding more and more family members of people that are in these positions speaking up and sharing information about their family members that are with DHS or ICE.
Yeah.
It's like you've got to be like we saw in other places. Gen Z is doing things, and they're starting here by making sure everybody knows who their parents are.
Right. They're not standing for it.
No.
And this is, again, these are the behaviors that give me hope for the future. And it occurs to me that a lot of the people who have stoked this millennial Gen Z battle have been boomers, conservatives, people who don't want anything to change at all. So they pit the younger generations against each other, saying, oh, millennials do this, isn't that so weird? But Gen Z does this, isn't that so weird? You two should make fun of each other now.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Oh, they have, Maddie.
and Gen X, I wouldn't be surprised if a few people joined up to embed themselves.
Oh.
I wouldn't be surprised either. I would think that would be a. That's probably
There
where
was a
some of these
reporter that
nukes are coming
joined
from.
just to write an article.
Oh yeah, that's right. She filled out the online thing, never actually ended up getting an interview. Like, she'd been told she had an upcoming interview. They didn't tell her when, then they just told her she had the job.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a generation fight. It's not boomers versus Gen Z. It's not a generational fight per se. Although I do see a lot of age being a factor. It's Heritage Foundation, MAGA, GOP pushing these generational. Yes. And that is exactly what it is. And the reason I say age is a factor is because most of these Heritage Foundation, MAGA, GOP people are of a certain age, are over a certain age. The people who are really profiting from that fight are of a certain age.
And the people that actually have the political power to make those things work are of a specific age.
And social power.
Mm-hmm. True, and social power, but
yeah.
How many people in Congress and Senate are 65 and older?
A lot. And
that's where you're getting your kind of generational thing is you've got they're in power.
It's not all old people, and it's not all old white men.
No, they're not representative of the generation overall.
No, they're not all bad. Although, with old white men, enough of them are bad that it's hard to tell who the good ones are going to be.
Yes.
You can't tell by looking.
Yes, how many over 80?
They're bringing their kids and grandkids and anyone connected up to take over. Yeah. They're trying to. And how many are over 80? A lot. Still. A decent, a good number are over 80. There are, yes. Yes, a lot of these horrible people are trying to bring up another generation of horrible people. And it may work. But I think that there are a lot more young people who see the value of human existence and the value of... I think there are a lot more young people who have strong moral and ethical values and fiber than there are that don't.
Mm-hmm.
And that they are starting to fortify in resistance to. It's a grouping of convenience. It's not about the generation. Yeah. Yes, it is a grouping of convenience. Although I do feel like, and it's not by generation, it's more like every iteration of humanity. Yes. if they could get the same profit from schisming vegans versus meatitarians, they'd do that. And they've tried. And they got some profit off of it. And so they're still trying. They're just making that this whole larger culture war, factioning everybody in every way they can think of to keep everybody fighting with the other factions. I do see, though, that with every iteration of people, of humans, the next group seems to be more progressive, on average. You know, I feel like millennials were more progressive than Gen Xers, and Gen Z is more progressive than millennials. It's just Carl Schmidt. You create an out group from an in group and keep pitting each other against the other. Yes, exactly. That is, I mean, yes, that is exactly what that plan is. And I don't think that the generational progressivism or iterational progressivism doesn't have to be an out-group situation. And I feel like we're on the cusp of that change, where the younger generations start going, oh, wait, this doesn't actually have to be a divide. We can hold the same values, like the same things, communicate differently, but be in with each other. So I feel like hopefully that age gap idea is starting to shrink. I think social media has something to do with that. You know, everybody is now all of the lingo, all of the ideas are available for anybody to see now. You can find it. You can be part of the in-group, at least quietly, if you want, no matter how far removed you are. And this is more true with the age groupings than I think other groupings. But I don't know for sure. It's not social media on the surface. It's targeted right-wing pushing for both profiting engagement, but also pushing hyper right-wing politics in general. Yeah. 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 I do, yeah, I mean, and this is where, I guess, this is where there's a gap between what could be and what is. And I see the younger generations filling that gap. At least in my own experience, in my own limited experience. But then again, there are always going to be those that that do not fit with that trend. And there are, I think, I don't know that I think that there are more. I just think that they are louder now. They are able to be louder, and they've been given more platforming than they used to get. At least since, Jim Crow. So yeah, I got lost in that analysis there.
Yes.
That got a little past me there. I think I only have one other thing written down on my list to talk about. And that was Daddy Jack Smith testifying in front of Congress this week. And apparently doing a heck of a job not giving Republicans an inch, and then being fairly expansive with the Democrats. And in that testimony, he did he managed to keep the narrative pointed to being around him doing his job to prosecute a former president for breaking laws. He managed to keep everything very much about the narrative, very much about Trump broke laws. I was doing my job, Trump broke laws. The one moment of traction, it seemed like the Republicans were almost getting, but couldn't quite keep hold of, was the subpoenaing of tow records. Tow records or toll records? I was listening to the piece on NPR, so I didn't have...
right.
But these records of metadata around phone calls between Trump and members of Congress. And he subpoenaed these, when he subpoenaed these, he asked that it not be mentioned to the people of whom he was investigating, that he was investigating them. He said, basically, don't tell these guys that I'm getting their records.
Right.
Which I have to imagine is pretty standard practice.
I mean, it's definitely standard practice with anybody that is not in Congress.
Right. And Congress's communications are more of a matter of public record than anyone else's, other than, like, the president. So,
These ways they're supposed to be.
right. So, he did, Jack Smith he gave very terse one-word answers to the questioning of Republicans, letting them sort of exhaust themselves by expressing their outrage at things they couldn't at things that weren't substantial. Blustering at ghosts. Hey, Just Me Crystal. And so Jack Smith, and then when Democrats took their turn, they asked him about how this was standard procedure. And he outlined how this is a part of any investigation. This is one of the first parts of an investigation. So it seemed like there was not a lot for them to get a hold of in that hearing. He kept the narrative very much around he was doing his job and Trump broke the law. And that was, he very much controlled the tone and pace of the hearing. That's what I was trying to get to. Happy Saturday. So yeah, that was the last thing on my list there. And I'm willing to bet that a good portion of this stuff the news stuff that we talked about, will make it on to Wait tomorrow.
Very, very probably.
Think we missed anything that's gonna make it on?
Oh, I'm sure we did, because there's been a lot that's happened this week, and there was a lot that happened last week.
They recently found the fastest spinning asteroid.
Yep.
I don't remember much more about it than that, but it spins really fast. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, Northern Lights, the solar storm, and the Northern Lights being visible recently. That happened.
Yep.
I don't know. I guess we gotta wait and see what's on tomorrow.
They might talk about the inauguration for Spanberger.
Yes, Spanberger's inauguration is that is not just a big deal locally. That is a national, that has some national ramifications. Which means they might talk about the Virginia voting reenfranchisement. What else? Let's see. McAdoo?
Yeah, they might. Well, I mean, someone was making note that what's his name, the Venezuelan president
Machado.
that we kidnapped. Yeah, Machado. Someone made note that he is currently in the same prison that P. Diddy and Luigi Mangione are in.
Yep. That's also Ghislaine Maxwell was there at one point. So was R. Kelly. Maduro. Maduro's there. Machado is. We did we ever talk about Machado handing over the Peace Prize?
Started to, and the fact that he threw a fit because before she even did that, the committee got together and they issued a statement saying it does not matter who has possession of the actual medal.
Right. It doesn't count.
All, yeah.
It just doesn't work that way.
Meanwhile, there have been numerous people drawing certain parallels with the only other person that has been quote unquote gifted a Nobel medal by the recipient as a peace offering. Yep. I did see that, the White Witch thing.
Who was the other person who was offered the Nobel Peace Prize as a peace offering?
It happened in the 40s.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the conservatives. I love that. I like the idea that they're calling her the White Witch. Yeah, I'm holding on, Maddie. I'm holding on.
Yes. There we go. That's the word. That's the name.
6. Mr. Don, Mr. Fanone,
Joseph.
Mr. Gonell, Mr. Hodges. I'm a member of the new select committee to actually examine what happened that day. And I can tell you, gentlemen, that the fault
yeah,
does
that
not
might
lie
actually
with
come up
Donald
there.
Trump. It lies with Yogananda Pittman and the U.S. Capitol leadership team. We know they had the intelligence, and there was going to be a high propensity for violence that day. Claim my time, yeah.
You will be in order. The time belongs to the gentleman from Texas. We've had some disruptions already. We don't need that. Let the gentleman may continue.
Dang. Fanone in the audience. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't quite tell what he said.
I would like to quickly address the police officers of January 6th. Mr. Don, Mr. Fanone, Mr. Gonell, Mr. Hodges. I'm a member of the new select committee to actually examine what happened that day. And I can tell you, gentlemen, that the fault does not lie with Donald Trump. It lies with Yogananda Pittman and the U.S. Capitol leadership team. We know they had the intelligence, and there was going to be a high propensity for violence that day.
I'm a member of the new select committee to actually
Will be in order. The time belongs to the gentleman from
what happened that
Texas.
day. And I can tell you, gentlemen, that the fault does not lie with Donald Trump. It lies with Yogananda Pittman and the U.S. Capitol leadership team. We know they had the intelligence, and there was...
Yep. That is awesome. I appreciate that
think it
greatly.
got doubled somehow there too. And I think it got doubled through you over Discord.
Might be my audio that did it.
Yeah. But that's okay because we listened to it twice just to make sure we heard it right.
We did.
Yeah. So that was... Yeah. I don't know if that'll make it on the show, but that would be fun.
Oh, it would.
Well, all right. It is definitely getting on towards time for us to call it in. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Kat, for being here. Thank you, Peanut Gallery, for being here, even though you're not here anymore. Thank you, Maddie Holmes, for being here. Thank you for chatting.
The way
Always
you
love
said
it.
that.
Make it sound like he's late or something. Thank you, Just Be Crystal. Who else was in chat? Oh, Wasabi, thank you. And thank you, Chris in the 386. Also, thank you to all the lurkers. Much love. And stick around for the raid. And join us tomorrow as we play along with Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. And now is the time on the show where I throw things around a little bit. Where I say 2 up, 2 down, VA, double deuces. We're out, y'all.